The 19th edition of the FICCI Frames, inaugurated by the I&B and Textiles Minister Smriti Irani, was all set to be a grand event. There are a lot of interesting sessions lined up with a few initiatives this year. The annual Media and Entertainment Global Convention also kick-started the same evening with the launch event, including the likes of Karan, Johar, Siddharth Roy Kapoor, Huma Qureshi, among many others, who held talks about the annual FICCI Frames event held at the Grand Hyatt and discussed core issues related to the entertainment industry. So, over and out to the FICCI Frame, and let's hear what Karan Johar and Smriti Irani discussed, as well as what did Siddharth Roy Kapoor had to say.
I'm going to try and look at the media and entertainment industry with a glass half full and a glass half empty lens, because I think while we realize what the opportunities are and how far we've come, it's really important also to see what the challenges are and what we need to do to be able to move forward. So we're a 126,000 crore industry, employing 7.4 lakh people. That's a glass half full. The glass half empty is that is less than 1% of the GDP of our country. The glass half full is that we've got a cable and satellite base of 155 million homes. The glass half empty is that we've got the lowest ARPUs in the world at around $3 or $4 per month per person. We're the largest producer of films in the world, and that's a statistic we enjoy throwing around very, very often. But at the same time, our entire industry is valued at less than the box office of Avatar. China, which has a similar population to ours and is around 4 to 5 times our GDP, has a film industry that's approximately 9 to 10 times our size. And we can get into why that's the case. We've got 30 active OTT platforms that are furiously creating tons of content, and it's a great time really for the content industry right now to be able to be like sort of making content. But I think as anyone who's working within that sector will tell you, we don't have a revenue model at this point of time that is sustainable and that can actually make sense given the sort of investments that are being made.
The challenge I see is that definitions by various entities that look into the business of content making or film making, they vary from one firm to another. So at the onset, if we can define how we look at employment from our industry, direct or indirect, then irrespective of which platform we talk about, the employability opportunities of our industry, I think you will get more or less similar kind of data. Right now, the biggest challenge is that our data varies on the basis of the platform we are on.
Right.
That is one of the biggest, I think, needs of the hour today for the industry, because even from banking perspective, what a banker also needs to understand in terms of valuation for an industry is numbers that can be fixed from a, I think, point of view of definitions which do not vary and conclusions which don't vary because of certain partnerships or certain collaborations or certain platforms. So one of the biggest needs today, even when we have conversations with international agencies about how they look at the Indian business model, they say that it just varies, depends on who you're talking to. Right. So today, the report that has come pegs the business at, and I believe that FICCI also projected that by 2021, we'll hit the $35 billion mark. But somebody else today said that, well, we've already hit the $33 billion mark in the year 2017. So once we come to a conclusion as to exactly what is the size of our industry, direct, indirect, what is the employment opportunity of an industry, I think that's where we can take it forward. Insofar as IFFI is concerned, I think that's just one chapter in a long book that is yet to be written. You yourself, along with my colleagues like Vani Tripathi, were a part of the government's effort to build a new bridge of communication at the Berlin Film Festival. And interestingly, the report that I received from the Indian delegation that was led by you was that it was not only about stars from India going to an international film festival, it was also decisively the Indian producers sitting there and talking just business. And I think that's another part that we should never shy away from, because whenever our contingents go to such international platforms, somehow we only position the faces that lead our projects, and we shy away from very aggressively talking about our business opportunities. And that is another aspect for which I like to congratulate FICCI, that you have a separate content business discussion platform, and I think it augurs very well for the industry. My heartiest congratulations for that.
We've been addressed as a soft power. Of course, sometimes we become a soft target as well, but those are separate circumstances.
Yeah, but my issue is this. Given that now you've recognized me as an insider, honestly put a hand to your heart and tell me how many of us manufacture that outrage because we don't have a film that is that good, but we know that we'll get the eyeballs if we create a little controversy. We are all in the business of it. It's the best kept secret which is just out there. And nobody wants to talk about it, but people will clap and I will get a few smiles on the aisle.
All right, we won't get into that.
Yeah, of course you won't.
No, we will have to keep this. This is FICCI Frames.
Yeah,
to keep it non-controversial. But truly, ma'am,
I don't mind controversial. I thought my second name was controversy.